it's an idea, and that you're moving out of the head space into the physical space, and you know how to say things, but you don't know how to so it's like a game is something that you plug in a controller and you play and you move around, and all the moving parts happen because someone took the time to take what someone said and actually mold it into a form that is interactive, or is more, it's like based less on what just the person said, and instead it's also it's like code, like it's just strings of code in a box that it's like 3 boxes. There's the store-bought, the box that you buy at the store that you plug into the television. Then there's the box that the disc comes in that you put into the store-bought, the television box. I'm not like somebody. I'm not analytical. I'm like impulsive. I inject myself into the decision-making process like you would inject oil into a car engine, and the car is the project, and the car is the mission, and it's speeding down the highway. And if I don't have the cash that I need to get the car start, like the cash is the key. I'm the car. It's like, what do? You have a program that you open up and that you type in just lines and lines of code, and that becomes graphics. There's never a reason to do anything except something that ends with an experience. I don't understand why I can't walk into a bank as a person with a fully loaded wallet filled with credit cards, why I can't go into a bank as this person and ask demandingly for the money that I need. And it's not fair for people to say, well, this is such a thought. This is such a series of like, what is this? What is the thought? Where is this coming from? Like, why is it so important to you that you feel the need to get so worked up about it? And I keep telling my wife that I'm not worked up about anything except for the fact that there's things that you come up with in your head and you bring into the world as a gift. And if I can't realize it, then what's the world for? What is it for? You ask your question, you get an answer. That's simple. What I'm asking for is at least $825,000, just at the bare minimum, for somebody to come to my house with several computers and just follow the train of thought that I have. It's unending. It's stuck in here. All of these dynamic characters and relationships and interactive moments, and I just can't get it out. And I can't. And it's like a stop. When you flick your television on and it starts, and it takes a little while for the screen to boot up, and then you flick your game console on, whether you got your Xbox or your PlayStation 3, it doesn't matter. It takes time and it takes electricity. You pay for that electricity with the job that you work. You pay for that. That electricity comes from through wires, and the wires, copper wires, silver wires, wires that have been dug into the ground by men and women with the foresight to sacrifice valuable time in their lives to build up the infrastructure to deliver the electricity to your house so you can experience something new. And where does that electricity come from? It comes from factories that are along the coast, big factories with smokestacks and cooling towers that with giant turbines that are cranking out like bolts of electricity 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, barring some holidays, I'm guessing. And you have trucks bringing in oil and coal and solar energy into the factories, and it's all part of this pulverizing, magnifying chemical process These are people that could be at home with their families, but instead they are working day in, day out, night and day for you to be able to flick on that TV and plug in your Xbox and play something. Those resources aren't just, they're not just like building random harvesting towers in the desert that are then surrounded by troops that can be moved in, like, because they're coming out of a barracks that you built, I don't know, like several hours ago. Those places are long for those places in the desert are real, and there are people working on them, and there are animals that died millions of years ago to bring you those resources, and the animals were part of a larger chemical process that started somewhere deep in outer space. And maybe, yes, it started with the voice of God, and then he said, and he spoke, and particles and bacteria and minerals came out of nothing and went into rocks, and those rocks became life and grew, and you had those like rock creatures, and those resources are what you pay for. So why not pay a little bit more?